Hey, welcome back. My name is Confidently Jazz Renee. Welcome back to my channel. Thank y'all for coming back. I really appreciate it. I do. So today we're talking about living at home in my 30s. So I am 30. How old am I? I'm 31. Do y'all forget how old y'all are? I be forgetting. I'm like, when people ask me like, how old are you? But I'm 31. And I live with my dad. A little bit, sorry, I wrote some notes. I don't know if y'all know that about me from just watching my other videos, but I live with my dad, and my little brother, and then, it's me and my son. So with living at home in your 30s, when you see people say, oh, or when you were growing up, you'd be like, oh, you're 30? I would never live at home and da-da-da this, and you would never do that. You never know what you'll do until you're in a situation. So never say never. But, a lot of people compare themselves. Don't compare. Please do not compare. If you have to move back home with your family, some people wish they could move back home with their family, wish they had the options. Right now, it's very expensive out here. But a little bit about my story. I've been living with my dad since I came back from school. And when I was I started the process of purchasing, and things didn't go through, but everything's on God's timing. So the same year that things didn't go through on purchasing, I found out that I was pregnant. So I really feel like everything worked out the way it should have. Because like my dad is really able to grow up really close with his grandson, with his uncle, and it just set a new level of me and my dad's relationship, because I never lived with my dad until adulthood. So I feel like this has really helped our relationship, and it's really helped him with my son. So yeah, when things didn't go bad, and because that was in 2020 when I found out that I was pregnant, then I was in the middle of the deal. A lot of things were happening behind the scene of why that didn't work out. We'll talk about that maybe later. But yeah, just things didn't work out how I thought it was. And sometimes you'll compare like, oh, I wish I could move, I wish I can do this. But honestly, it was a blessing. It was a blessing. Honestly, I say it was a blessing because I had some credit card debt in 2020 that I didn't pay off, which I was supposed to do before I even started my process. First of all, me starting the purchasing process, honestly, now that looking back, it was already not in God's will, because it was a rush. It was a haste. Like, soon as I contacted the realtor, and I was just trying to like get to know about the process. Mind you, this is my first time trying to purchase something. I don't know anything about the process. I'm doing my research and studying and going to different things, listening to podcasts, but this is my first time going through this experience. So she immediately put me in contact with a mortgage lender, and he like, oh, we can get you approved right now, da 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 da. So me being young, excited, ready to just leave, like I see like I was in a rush a lot. And that's one thing that's how one sign, this is many signs, but one sign, for you to know that it's not from God, is haste. God does not rush you to make decisions. Not saying like opportunity, like you'll know if this opportunity is from God and you have to make a choice soon, but rush you as into like big, heavy decisions, or rush you into like a process is not from God. Jesus walked, he did not run. So everything was in a rush. So that was really my fault. And that was when, you just look back and you can tell like, yeah, I was rushing the process. I let these other people rush me. Don't let people rush you. If people are rushing you, and it's kind of like, not saying like people trying to take something from you, but just don't let people rush you, because yeah, it's a counterfeit. Don't let people rush you. First tip is don't let people rush you. Don't move out of haste, because that's when you're going to be moving out of your season. That's when you're moving out of position. And there's something God is doing, but sometimes we don't see it. Most times we don't see what God is doing, and it's not for us to understand. So definitely just trust the process. And just also remember, you're not behind. If you have to move back home with your parents or move in with a roommate, or or if anything, you're not behind. You're on your own pace, your own time. So stop comparing to yourself with other people. And that's what I had to learn. Like, had to not compare of where other people are. Like, oh, well, they don't live with their parents and this and that. It doesn't matter. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's bills are different. Everything, God knows where you're supposed to be. So the reason why I have been living with my dad is because I've been paying off my debt. As you all know, that I've been paying off my credit card debt and I'm also trying to purchase. I'm not trying to rent. So by me paying off my credit card debt, and the next thing is saving, I'm trying to put myself in a better situation for me and my son financially. So that, and I have the opportunity to do that. Now I get some people don't have the opportunity to, like I said, to move back with their parents, to live with a roommate, or need something to cut the rent. So it can be cheaper, or some people are just prideful. If you have the opportunity and you have your parent or whoever is willing, there's a space for you, things are working out for you that way, and that's what you feel God is telling you to do, and you're able to save money, do it. So I am able to put me and my son in a I am able to put me and my son in a different financial situation, rather than go out and get an apartment right now. If I went out and got an apartment right now, I could, but would that be smart? No. For me, that would not be smart for me. So again, everybody's situation is different. So that's when you have to look and evaluate your situation. Also, especially when it comes to finances. And God has been teaching me a lot about finances this year, especially while paying off debt, especially while, I don't remember the term, but when delayed gratification. I'm working on with my fragrances, but yeah, so it's really just up to you and your situation. Everybody's situation is unique, so you do what's best for you. But if you can, and you have the opportunity sometimes, and you're thinking about it, set your pride aside and do it, and then really just hone in and focus, because sometimes it may only take you a year to get things together, or take you 6 months. But remember, you're setting yourself up. You're not man or woman. And I feel, man or woman, and I feel that, especially like some men get a bad look at it, like, oh, you're living at home with your parents. But I feel if I'm living at home or I moved back home because I'm saving so I can purchase, or I'm saving so I can invest, or I'm helping my parents. Everybody has different reasons of why they live at home. Like, everybody has completely different reasons. So don't pressure yourself, and also don't let the outside noise affect with what you're going to do for your life, because who about to pay your bills? You. Nobody else. So so you're not behind, you're setting yourself up. Remember that. So yeah, but some of the pros and cons, some of the pros for me living at home, is saving money. I'm able to help my dad where it's needed. But yeah, saving money, I'm able to pay off my debt. I'm able to focus on that. I get help. So save money. I'm able to pay off debt. I'm able to get help with my son. Like, my dad watches my son while I go to the gym, or say if I need him to watch him real quick while I run an errand, or say like he needs to eat and I'm kind of busy at the moment, I'll ask my dad. Or if my dad needs to get him dressed, anything, like, my dad helps out with my son. And then also, like, help around the house. My dad helps out like with dishes or cooking or juicing for me. My dad been juicing for me lately. It's been so helpful because I haven't had the capacity to do that. I don't have the time to do that. So there's different things needed around the house. My dad is able to handle that. So it is some pros, some big pros. Those are big pros. Being able to save money and pay off debt, big pros. Now the cons. Now the cons. And I feel like this is living with anybody. It's not even just living with your parents, but no privacy. No privacy. No privacy. No privacy. Yeah. So, some things you just gonna have to swallow it up. But yeah, I have no privacy. Like, I don't like people listening to my conversations. That's definitely gonna happen because I don't think people try to do that on purpose, but it happens. Or asking you, oh, what you about to do? Like, say you about to leave the house. Oh, what you about to do? Like, sometimes you just can't leave the house. Just want to leave. What you about to do? I don't want to explain my day, but that goes with living with somebody they're about to ask. So yeah, I would just say that's only like con, no privacy, and another con, no alone time, because if somebody's already always in the house, so you don't really have that alone time, and as a woman, you just can't walk around how you want to walk around. But that's a smaller con. Bigger con is no privacy. And then also you just have to be a little bit more considerate of other people, because it's not just you that lives here. So you have to be considerate of everything that's going around you, what time you do certain things at certain like say if you're in the kitchen, like the common areas, if you're being too loud, you just have to be a little bit more considerate to other people. But that's really it. I would really say there's more pros for me than there are cons for me. So if you're able to, so that's one thing I want to like share advice. Like, don't think living at home is a bad thing if you have to move back. Take the opportunity and focus. I'm not saying grind, I'm saying focus. Focus, do what you need to do so that you're able to set yourself up. But for people who are like looking at people who are like dating or friends, like, oh, why they still live at home with their parent? Like, try to figure out, if you're wondering, ask what's going on. You know what I'm saying? If you're able to help in any type of way, because sometimes it is helpful. It's, like certain cultures, they live with most of their family and they start purchasing up properties together. So it's really, you can learn something. Sometimes some people are helping their parent or helping their cousin, so that is better off if they live there, or it's just anything. And sometimes people do need the help. So yeah, so don't take it as a very negative. I know it is very negative in this society, but hey, if you have something negative to say, then that's your opinion. This is working out for me right now in my life, And so yeah, I would just say, if you have to move back or if you're still living at home, give yourself grace, focus, and make your priorities first of why you're doing this. Why are you still here? I'm not saying this for the people who are just like lazy people, like, oh, it's just because you don't want to do anything, you're not trying to, it's not that. I'm not saying that because I'm not lazy. But yeah, so just remember, you're setting yourself up. Keep going. And it's not about what other people's opinions about you are. It's what God thinks about you and what he's trying to do in your life. And don't rush a situation or don't move out of his will, because that's when you got to try to keep outside his will, and it ain't that fun. So yeah, I just want to give a little bit background about me, and me still living at home, but soon, if it's God's will, things will change. But right now, I'm just paying off debt and focusing on me. So if y'all have any questions, let me know. If y'all want to share anything about your living at home experience, your pros, your con list, anything that you feel like I missed, let me know. Thank you.